position that Ewing felt he should be. Now they continue to talk very vigorously, as you see.
The Knicks have 3 timeouts remaining. The Hornets 3 and a 20. The Knicks with a good run in the second quarter to take a 13-point lead at the half. Charlotte came back strong in the third and at one point took the lead. But the Knicks on fire here in the fourth quarter, led by Allen Houston, and they've taken a 103-92 lead. Right here, let's check in with Al Troutwick with a surprise visitor to Madison Square Garden. Al?
Yeah, Mark, Reggie Miller. What brings you to Madison Square Garden?
Well, I had some business I had to do in New York, and what better way to end it off than to watch a good basketball game.
This has got to be killing you. Patrick Ewing with the big slam. Reggie, what do you think of the game?
Well, we just got here for the fourth quarter. When we walked in, it was a 2-point game, but as normal, New York really stepped up their defense and really limited Charlotte to outside shooting, and they weren't connecting, and New York was getting all the rebounds and getting the loose balls and getting the ball into Patrick, and Patrick was making plays for him.
Get back in the playoffs, man. We miss you for atmospheres like this. Thanks, Reg.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, thank you, Al. Foul was called on Tony Delk. We're down to a minute 25 remaining in this fourth quarter. Both teams are over the foul limit. The Knicks now lead 105-92, and they're back at the line.
Boy, a Knick fan listening to Reggie Miller could almost like him. A guy who's always generates such antagonism among Knicks fans, naturally, with his fine play and his personality, but looking like a businessman. A very diplomatic commentary by Reggie.
Different personality off the court.
Yes.
Chris Childs, 1 for 1 at the line. He has 11 points. The crowd beginning to file out. The Knicks headed to victory in game 1 of this best of 5, leading 107-92 with a very solid effort. And Tony Delk with 13 points, hitting his third three-pointer. 12-point Knick lead as we approach a minute to go. John Starks may have jammed a finger. Ball knocked out of bounds by Delk.
Knock it out, John.
Boy, Delk coming into the NBA as a shooting guard. Didn't play in the 17 of the first 35 games of Charlotte this year. And as Sports Illustrated noted this week, he has really emerged as a key player. As Dave Cowan said, our point guard of the future.
We're just under 1 minute remaining in this fourth quarter. Childs for 3. Question looking at game 2 will be the physical status of Muggsy Bogues. And the crowd now reacting to this Knick performance. Tipped home by Divac. 27 for Vlade Divac. The Knick lead is 10. And we're down to a half minute remaining in the game. And they're on their feet here at the Garden. Starks.
He half passed and half shot, and that was the result. He just fell short. He knew he shouldn't have shot, I think, as he went up for it.
Here's Rice. So the Knicks now lead 107-99 with 17 seconds remaining. Hornets able to close the gap. And here in the final minute, foul is called. It's on Delk with 11 seconds left. But the Knicks came out right from the start with a very strong outing. They got it to Larry Johnson in the early going. He had 17 points in the first half. Allen Houston with a strong shooting ball game throughout. Finished particularly strong, 25 points, 13 in this fourth quarter alone. And John Starks with his usual stirring performance off the bench, 19 points for Starks.
Knicks also getting a solid game in leadership from Chris Childs, 13 points, 8 assists for Chris. Earlier this year had a triple-double against Charlotte.
Knicks lead 109-99. And Anthony Mason, the former Knick, not a factor, although puts up good all-around numbers. Here's Pierce, and that's it. best of 5. They defeat the Hornets 109-99. Game 2 coming up on Saturday afternoon here at the Garden. And the Knicks finish up.
Because in the first half, Larry Johnson was classic. He played with emotion and fire that we haven't seen all season long. And he set the tone for this game for the Knicks with 17 first-half points inside and the outside game working as well. Larry Johnson finished with 20, grabbed 3 rebounds, and also put on a bunch of different character faces in that first half. There he was, screaming, sort of like the primal John Stark scream. And there he was saying, no, I'm not going to do it to him. They rubbed their bald heads, those fiastic Knicks. And then there was Larry sort of taking on the statuesque position after pirouetting and screaming some more. There had to be a message in that one particular stand that he took. Meanwhile, we're back here at Madison Square Garden looking over the stat sheet. The variety in the Knicks offense was one of the most outstanding things about this game. They didn't need 30 points from Patrick Ewing. Everybody was getting the ball, thanks in large part to Chris Childs, who had 8 assists, and John Starks, who had 11 assists. John Starks had 19 points and 11 assists. And you see the numbers for the Knicks backcourt. 58 points in all. Allen Houston was the man in the fourth quarter. He finishes with 25 to lead the Knicks. Starks with 19, Childs with 14, and Charlie Ward, who got the bulk of minutes in the fourth quarter by Jeff Van Gundy, finished with 5, shooting 2 of 3. But overall, the most important thing that the backcourt did was handle the ball well. The Knicks only committed 10 turnovers. In a moment, we'll be joined by Larry Johnson as soon as he puts on his shirt. Larry?
Yeah.
That was some kind of performance you put on out there in the first half. You were obviously emotionally very into this game.
I was. I thought that we needed a boost to get started. I thought that, this is a big series for us, and this is a big season for us. This is a big playoff. I think that this team has the ability, as far as talent-wise, to win a title. What we need is to get ourselves up emotionally, be more mentally prepared for each game, and go out and play up to our standards.
What was the one pose where you sort of cross your arms on your chest? What does that mean?
I don't know my poses. Everything is in the heat of the battle.
Now, this was, I think, a very convincing win for the Knicks. I mean, you allowed Charlotte back in the third quarter, but then when it really got time to count, you were able to just roll off the points.
I don't think so. We just talked about it. We had a big meeting. I think that when we had those guys down in the third and coming back to the third, we should have kept them down. That's been a stigma of ours the whole year. We hadn't had that killer instinct, and for us to be able to beat the elite teams in this league, to win the championship like we want to do, we're going to have to be able to withstand a lead and keep a lead and jump on the team when they're down.
So there's a lack of satisfaction in the locker room?
Exactly. We know even to get out of this series, we got to do it harder, much smarter, and with much more intensity. We know that. And the Knicks are not trying to beat the Charlotte Hornets. The Knicks is trying to beat everybody in our way to win a title. And we know in our locker room today, we didn't come out and put our best effort forth in the third, fourth quarter.
What do you think the team did well?
I think that during that third quarter, when we did let them back in it and they went up 2, I think we responded well. That's, like I said, that's been something we did all year, is had a lead on the team, let them come back and respond well. We don't want to get in that situation. You get in that situation with teams like Seattle, Chicago, and Miami, you won't be able to get back. So, I mean, more than anything, of course, I thought we shot the ball well. We shot the ball good from the outside. We drove the ball good. Our offense was good. Our defense got to be better, and our intensity got to be better.
Larry, the way you played in that first half with all your emotion and your energy, it looked as though you wanted to establish sort of a leadership position with this team.
I think it's playoff time, and it's now or never. And we're just going out trying to do whatever we need to do to win games. And whatever my teammates asking me to do to win games and to win this championship, that's what Larry Johnson going to do.
How about the variety of the offense? Patrick Ewing only takes 11 shots, get 15 points. And the beautiful thing was the backcourt numbers, the way everybody was touching the ball. You saw the ball. Allen Houston saw the ball. Starks had the ball. Tell me how that evolved.
One thing I will say is, as far as distributing the ball, this has probably been one of our best games. I can't really think back to the other game, but as far as distributing the ball, this has probably been one of our best games.
Tough game for your pal Muggsy Bogues. It looks as though he's got that torn hamstring. He was in a lot of pain and very upset.
Yeah, Muggs is a fighter. Nobody has a bigger heart in this league than Muggsy Bogues. I played with the guy for 5 years.